Potential home buyers, this video is made just for you. I am sure that you have heard in the real estate world that things are absolutely crazy right now, so we are going to provide for you 3 key insights when it comes to buying a home, specifically in Colorado Springs, so stay tuned for the whole video.
I always see so many different headlines of 20% down, you have to put 20% down, and you can't purchase a home without 20% down. And you guys, that's not how it is. That's not reality. In fact, we just helped a buyer where they got money back. The big thing with it is that 20% down has been a thing, a myth, a saying. Now, there are some things that are beneficial when you put 20% down, but you don't have to have 20% down to purchase a home. Now, here in Colorado, we have a lot of down payment assistance programs, which is amazing because a lot of times they'll only require that you put $1,000 down of your own money, which is amazing. Like, you can buy a home with $1,000.
Yeah, and real quick, backtrack just a quick second. If you're new to the channel, I'm Sean and this is Crystal, and we've been in real estate for going on 8 years now. So we have helped tons and tons of buyers. We've helped people move here from out of state. We've helped people in the military buy homes, first-time home buyers, last-time home buyers. We've helped everyone and anyone and basically any type of buyer that you can think of. So when it comes to the 20% down myth, I think that we're specifically talking to most of the time first-time home buyers because you are the ones that are assuming that that is what you have to put down. But yes, that is definitely not the case. And if you need more specific insights, that's what we're here for. So you can always call us or text us at 719-238-1771. We're your local experts in and around the Colorado Springs area. And we'd love to help kind of create a customized plan for you and your buying journey because it's really depending on everybody's own unique situation.
Yeah, 100%. I think the other thing that we see a lot of is, well, especially right now, you guys, interest rates are going down, interest rates are falling down. Oh my gosh, interest rates are up, interest rates are up. We get asked every single day, Crystal, Sean, what are the rates? What are the rates? Are they going to go down? Are they going to go down? You guys, first off, if we had any control of them going down, or if we had any knowledge that they were 100% going to go down, if we had a crystal ball that we could just know this, we would be millionaires. Billionaires, probably.
What are your superpowers again? I'm rich.
But we don't. So the thing with interest rates, do they go down? Yes. Do they go up? Yes. Are there a lot of factors that play into that? Yes. So what we do as your real estate professionals is we partner with amazing lenders that will be able to tell you exactly what the rates are based on your situation because everybody's situation is different. But then no matter what that rate is, we get creative and we figure out ways that we can lower it and or figure out ways that we can get you into the right home and the right payment regardless of what the interest rate is. And a few of those things, I mean, that we've done several times is we can ask the seller for concessions and we can use those concessions. Basically, that's a credit to you. We can use those concessions to be able to drop down your rate. And there are several different programs out there. You can do a 3-2-1 buy down. You could do a 2-1 buy down. You can do a permanent buy down. You could do a temporary buy down. Millions of different options, you guys. Biggest thing that I can say when it comes to the rates, contact us, DM us, send us a text, like Sean said, 719-238-1771, and we can help navigate you on what this is. No matter what the rates are at the time, we'll be able to help you figure it out.
Yeah, and speaking to you probably as consumers, as buyers, I am sure that if you know an agent in your local market, you probably ask them every other day or however often you see them, how's the market? The answer to that question is totally depending on if you're asking about being a buyer in a buyer's market or a seller looking to sell your home or an investor. There's so many different factors that go into the question, how's the market? But even more importantly than that, it really just depends again on your current unique circumstance. If you're PCSing to Colorado, guess what? You don't get a circumstance. You're coming here no matter what. So
we'll welcome you with open arms.
Exactly. But you have a few options. You can rent a house, you can live on base, or you can buy a house. Those are your options with the deadline of whatever the military tells you that it is. If you are just looking to relocate from Florida to Colorado Springs because you hate the humidity and you're not on a timeline, well then sure, could you wait a couple months to see what rates are going to do if you wanted to? Totally could. Does that change your situation at all? No, because if rates go down, the amount of buyers that are in the pool can go up, which can cause the prices of homes to also go up. You could be in a competitive market where you don't get concessions anymore. So there are so many different factors when it comes to the circumstance that you're in. So I think to your point, that's why getting an expert's opinion on the local market that you're shopping is so important, because it doesn't matter what one person says that's happening in the entire world. It matters what's happening with you and in your world and on your timeline.
Well, and I want to say a few things, because we're not those agents that are going to tell you, oh, right now is the best time to buy, right? We're not going to say this is the best time to sell. We're going to dive in to why are you moving? Why do you need it? Why do you want to purchase? Why do you want to sell? And then we're going to figure out your situation and map out some things. We help someone who right now is not the right time to buy for them. And so they are going into a rental for a few short months, because based off of their situation and their what they want and need, it's not good right now. But every situation is going to be completely different, and we're going to be honest and transparent with you guys and help you kind of navigate what that looks for. But I will say this, and it doesn't matter what the rates are. It's just natural to where when the rates drop, especially because they have been on the higher side the last few years, when the rates drop, buyers are going to start coming out of the woodworks. And what that means is then you're now going to be competing with all of these other buyers for a home, which means that you're going to be paying more than what you would have paid now with the rates being where they're at. Figure out what your situation is, figure out what your timelines are, figure out what your needs and wants are. Call us, let us help you walk through it and see if now is the right time. And then we can go over what all of that means.
And that's a whole nother topic, because I was going to bring up refinancing, buy now and refinance later. Again, that's a whole nother topic. You can call us, text us, whatever it is, to discuss what that actually looks like. Because again, if it's your circumstance and moving in the next 60, 90 days makes sense for you and rates fall 6 months later, we can talk about what that refinance would look like and whether it's a good idea or a bad idea, because there's multiple factors that goes into that.
For sure. The other thing that I want to mention that is really, really big, and I think it's always been an option. I just think it's never been something that has really been highly advertised. Sean had mentioned, PCSing and being military. If you have a VA assumable loan, or I should say, if you qualify for a VA loan, which means that you're a service member, past, present, you have the ability to use your VA loan. We can do what's called an assumable, where you take over a seller's interest rate. So those 2.5 interest rates that we'll probably never see again. I really, really hope that I'm wrong on that, but I really don't think we're ever going to see 2.5 anyway in my lifetime. But you can assume over that seller's payment. And there's a lot that goes into that, but that's why you call us. So there's options, you guys. There's so many options that we want to be able to help you with. So if you are thinking about buying, give us a call and let us help you with it.
Right. So we've discussed down payments, which again can vary,
and we have a ton of down payment assistant programs.
We've discussed interest rates.
Yep.
And then the third one,
they're still bananas and they go up and down, but we're here to help.
And then the third one was more so like what long-term versus short-term housing options and what you can kind of expect from that.
Yeah, I think that, before buyers used to just kind of think very short-term goals, which is great. Like, I mean, if you're buying your first home and you're a first-time home buyer, that's probably not going to be your forever home. But what I think that we're seeing nowadays is, especially because the market's a little bit tougher, is people are starting to look at their home more an investment long-term.
Right. With that, I think that another important thing that plays into all of it is what's happened in real estate over the last, say, from 2019 to 2022, 2023, somewhere in there. It's never really like normal market, right? But that one was very wild. And what it taught people is that you can buy a house and then 2 years later sell it and make $100,000. And that's just not realistic. So when we're talking short-term versus long-term, we're talking about things that make sense for your family, such as if you work from home and your wife works from home, then maybe you guys need 2 offices or an upstairs and a downstairs or just your own space to be able to work. but also the idea of being able to purchase a home and sit in it for however many years that is. If you have kiddos that you want to get through high school and they're 10 years old right now, you're probably looking at an 8-year investment into your home. What does that look like for you? Or if you're downsizing and you're planning on staying in that home forever, do you want 3 flights of stairs? So some of these things that you need to start thinking about, and the reality is that you can't buy a home and then 2 years later sell it for $100,000, even though that's what we were taught between 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021. So think about the long-term investment, or if you're military, short-term plan. What is your plan? You're gonna be here for 4 years. You know you're gonna PCS somewhere else. Are you going to keep that house and turn it into a rental and then buy another house? We have a whole little game plan for that if that's something you're interested in. So yeah, I think that the short-term versus long-term game plan is a very important factor in considering what you're going to purchase when you buy a home.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just think, just like you said, Shonda, where a lot of times people don't pay attention to what that longer term looks like. I mean, we were victims of it. We 100%, bought the carriage house in Banning, and we were like, oh my gosh, it's brand new, it's pretty, it has pretty much everything that we wanted. We compromised on a lot of things now that I wish that we wouldn't have. But in the reality of it, it was like that many stairs was not a long-term thing. And so it's little things like that, you guys, that now, you want to stop and think about. You want to stop and see, okay, like, what is my goal of being in there? And there's a lot of times that things like, that you may think that you're going to be here for 4 years, and then the government says, nope, goodbye, you're going to PCS in 2. So there's a lot of things that could just come up, but we try to help you kind of navigate what that would look like and what to focus on, and then, what not to focus on, really.
Especially if you're looking at moving here from out of state and you don't know the areas in town of Colorado Springs, or the layout of Colorado Springs, or what a basement is, or 2 stories, or the effects of altitude. There are so many different factors if you're looking at moving here from out of state and you've never been to Springs. And even if you have and you were here 10 years ago, I can promise you it is very, very different. It has expanded, it has grown so much. So yeah, keeping that in mind and reaching out to your local experts, I think is going to be a super important factor for you to make sure that you land in the right spot that you want for however long that tenure is going to be.
Yep, for sure. So basically, moral of the story is no matter what the rates are, no matter how much money you have for a down payment, if your goals are long-term, short-term, we are your local experts here. We want to help guide you, whether it's now, whether it's in 6 months, a year, 5 years, 10 years, let us know. Give us a call, send us a DM, 719-238-1771.
I agree.
So thank you for tuning in, and stay tuned for the next one.